Hey everyone, Demko here, and I promised to tell you all this story from our recent hike this end of March weekend. So here it is. I'm recording this from our bomb shelter. It is 9 p.m. now, and I guess it's time for an air attack alarm. Anyway, the siren is on, and I'll just use this time properly here to tell you this story. So, we have spent whole months volunteering here in Lviv because Ukraine is kind of suffering the war. So we've decided to recharge by doing a hike in the mountains, which is a very usual thing for us to do. We were aiming at a very quick 1 day hike so we can get out of the city in the morning and then come back before the curfew kicks in. So we will not violate any kind of rules. So we've decided to hike the mountain called Kindrat, which is near Skole region. One of the inspiration for that specific location was our dog, which is, by the way, she's laying just right next to me as I'm recording this. So at one of her birthdays, we've presented her a scratch map of Ukrainian Carpathians. Probably you will see that here now, meaning that we would have to hike all of those mountains indicated on the map and then to scratch them all on the map. So here it is. So we have a car, and this is the most common way for us to get around in terms of traveling. And our dog, she's really comfortable being with us in the car. Usually we take her literally everywhere, either that is abroad. Recently we did a huge road trip into Austria and Austrian mountains, Alps, and we were like living in the car, sleeping in the car, preparing food, etc. So, and she's absolutely all right with that. We've driven from Lviv to Tuhlia, which is nearly 150 kilometers, approximately 2-hour drive if we're going fast. And this is some footage that I did from my Ray-Ban glasses. Once the drive was over, I got to talk to the locals once we arrived in the village, and they were kind of very skeptic about our outfits. So I was wearing kind of hiking sneakers, Salomon, and my partner was wearing proper trekking boots, but not kind of not snowshoes, right? So I was skeptic about his position. Like, I was hiking for 10 years straight, and I know what I'm doing, what's going on at that 1,000 meters height mountain. And spoiler, I was so selfish and so wrong. So anyway, we got to the mountains and really enjoyed the hike. The dog was extra happy about the scenery, and we always use these kind of trips for training, even though this is the place for us to recharge, to have fun, as she's doing right now. Still, we're trying to train her properly so we can anytime soon let her off leash, because right now this is not the case, because she'll simply run away, maybe come back in like 15 minutes, but in these 15 minutes my heart will simply stop. So as you see, she goes crazy about the snow and overall vibe of the forest.
Мої ноги зараз намокнуть вже. Дядько внизу в селі нам казав, що треба брати гумаки, а гумаків в мене немає, тільки кросівки.
maybe 3 kilometers into the hike, and we already see that there is simply no trail, right? And the snow is deep. It's sometimes it's maybe 20 centimeters deep, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 50, and sometimes you fall into almost your full height under the snow, and these cases happened to us during this hike, so I was not really expecting this. Obviously, even in the forest, it was windy, and the dog was going crazy on all of the sticks, so wanting to take all of them back home.
Нам було би трошки мокріше. Хтось протоптав нам чуть-чуть.
There were some occasional footsteps that we've noticed on the trail, but they were really rare, and probably like one person went there, and it seems like a month ago.
Дзига goes crazy. З снігом. Які ще гілки ми позбираємо тут, пані Дзига? Зручно так лапу поставила. Боже.
Давай, давай, стань.
Молодець.
Молодчинка.
Але ти клас.
Вилізла.
Made it!
Ми подарували на горі Дзизі пінгвіна. У нас завжди є в списку, що взяти з собою в гори, і речі Дзигі – це пінгвін. Але цей раз цей пінгвін гігантський і м'який. Це нова її іграшка. Зазвичай ми беремо такого дуже маленького пінгвіна. А сьогодні це Дзигін зоряний час з пінгвіном. Я його тільки що їй подарував. Іра закрила її очі Дзизі. Я підніс її до носа пінгвіна і букнув. Тепер Дзига рада. А ми з мокрими ногами обідаємо. Маєш файні капці. Ну я тут теж маю повністю мокрим. Вони там, у них води 10 кг.
Вже стає холодно, треба вийти.
Дуже стає холодно, коли стоїш. Зараз швидко обідаємо і вниз біжимо.
Penguin is an essential part of any checklist for going hiking, for any travel if we are going with the dog. And we were taking him in various forms and conditions, but mostly back in the day it was that kind of a small one which squeezes, and now I've decided to create a surprise for her with the big one.
Де полює на ведмедів, тут які сплять. Напевно, тут на цій полонині багато ведмедів спить. А ми відчуваємо, як наші ноги відмерзають і скоро їх доведеться ампутувати. Холодно, пизда в ноги. Що по ногах? Пані Іра,
Ну, трошки краще.
що по ногах?
Вони мокрі.
Ну це все нормально. Це не страшно.
The view is good, but not the best one, as most of Ukrainian mountains are covered with deep forests, and most of the mountains are nearly same height, up to 2,000 meters. So you don't see too much because each mountain is overlapping the view for you. So once we got to the top, we've figured out our way back. So So the initial idea of doing the circle was not a good one, obviously, because we've scouted the circle route for nearly 15 minutes, and there were no signs of trail at all there, and the snow was even deeper and more dangerous because of springs under the piles of snow which you're falling into, obviously, and really a lot of stones in there. So we've decided to go back the usual road as we went in. That feeling when you realize how deep your legs are in the snow, and this is literally every step that you are taking up till your knees in the snow.
Сьогодні така гарна погода. Я люблю життя.
On our way back, we started getting so many calls from friends, family, and so on, and they said that Lviv was just shelled, and they wanted to check on us if we were right. That was the moment when we knew everything is fucked up, and when we got back home, we got to know that Lviv critical infrastructure, fuel storage, was bombed, and there was a huge explosion and fire with civilians injured, and these two guys helped to fight that fire. We tried to get home as soon as possible. At nearly 10 p.m. we finally got back home and went through all of the news regarding that shelling and figured out that all our friends and family were safe. And then in the night I started tweeting about that on my Twitter account. That was day 31 of full-scale Russian invasion into Ukraine. Mostly that video was shot on our iPhones and occasionally using Ray-Ban Stories, the glasses with the camera. A long time ago I also thought of making a video about them, so let me know if you're anyhow interested to learn what that is and how I got them, how I use them in these kind of hikes. I really found joy in both doing the hike and creating that video for you. So it helped me to get through some hours and show you how normal and at the same time broken the life could be within the war in the middle of Europe, the war which Ukraine is going through right now. Alright then, that was it. Take care and let me know if you're safe. Bye bye.